All right, here we go, Ian. Remember, if you want to ask a question, it's patreon.com/CU Podcast, and you can leave your question on the CU Podcast hotline. Here you go. Here's the first one from this week.
Hey, guys. I'm a pretty big fan of the podcast, and I was just wondering, Ian, are you going to be working Columbus Day weekend? Me and my family are heading out to San Diego, and I thought I'd stop by the store. Thanks.
Ian, are you working Columbus Day weekend?
All right, well, you just...
Very specific question, to the point.
You just told
We love it.
Because I just got my tentative work schedule this morning.
That's like a personal question. I guess you can use a CU Podcast hotline to ask that.
I mean, that's fine. Shitballs. What is Columbus Day weekend?
Don't let him down, Ian. Columbus Day 2017. Columbus Day was Monday the 9th. Are you working, Ian?
Yeah, I will be working at the Chula Vista location.
Come out and see Ian and say hi.
I will be there, on Monday.
Okay, thanks for the question. Next one. Ian's laughing and I'm laughing. I'm sorry, there's a question that we're not putting on because we tried our best to understand and we couldn't. We just couldn't.
Yeah.
So we have to skip it. All right, here we go.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. This is Dadash with my boss from Hurricane Irma ravaged Central Florida.
Oof.
This isn't a question, just more of a thank you to the folks on Pat's Discord channel, especially Getz, Super Supreme, and Lisa. The hurricane was one of the most terrifying nights of my life, and I really appreciate those three and everybody else talking to me while I still have power on the Discord chat and just trying to keep me calm because it was really horrifying. So, and thank you to Pat and Ian for being cool people and having those cool people gravitate towards them. All right, thanks, guys.
I'm glad you feel you're doing all right there. And so yeah, I have a Discord chat on my Pat Patreon, my Patreon. I unfortunately don't ever go in it. I forget about it. Sometimes I peek in, but it sounds like they helped you get through the hurricane. I'm glad to hear that. Hopefully you're doing well. And I think that's what Ian and I we like to not to bring up. We're not going to keep bringing up a cowardly YouTuber, but we like to foster a certain audience that we actually try to care about people. At least I think we do.
Yeah. I mean, and I talk to a lot of people on Twitter and who listen to us, and I always find the ones that I'm talking to who don't know other ones that I'm talking to often start talking to each other. And I don't know, as a community, I feel like there is a listenership community for this podcast that is very friendly and very supportive of everyone and each other.
More so than the typical YouTube community. Like, I will say that.
Right.
And a little bit more open in discussion and not just throwing out garbage.
Sure.
Because they believe there's some like huge culture war they constantly have to fight for.
Right.
You know. So I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I promise, guys, I'll be in that Discord chat soon. I should just put it on auto log on when I put my computer on, so I'm in there. But I'm glad to hear you're doing well. All right, next question.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. This is Mitch calling from Bucks County, Pennsylvania. My question is, if you could make a game for the NES based on a movie or TV show from the 80s or 90s that doesn't already exist and have it be good, what would it be?
Bloodsport.
Anyway, love the podcast, you guys. Keep up the great work.
Don't answer before the question's over, Ian.
Sorry, that's just the answer. That's just the answer.
But NES game though, could Bloodsport support it? It would look like, well, there is a Kumite mode in Best of the Best on NES.
I was just gonna say Best of the Best proves that it could have worked.
Could have been done.
But
you want to have bigger sprites, bigger pecs for Bolo Young in there, and for Chong Li.
Yeah.
You gotta stick with that a little bit. The sumo guy. Did you read the script I sent you yet? The original script?
No. I'm saving it for a day.
You had a lot of days you could have read it. And also the oral history of Predator.
You know who could do the Bloodsport game, I bet? Or at least the graphics?
Oh.
We should talk to Andrew Raitano. I bet you... Super Russian Roulette.
Oh! Roulette?
Roulette. I bet you he could get the extra package working.
You get in there?
I think he could work. God damn it, Pat. Fucking A.
One last question. And thanks for the... What was his name? Mitch. Thanks, Mitch. One last question.
Hi, Pat, and hi, Ian.
Hey, Karen.
What are your thoughts on the impending official death of Flash? Flash has had problems, but it was a ridiculously accessible way to make games, and a number of indie games began as Flash games. Even I have been able to figure out how to make crappy Flash games. But there's really nothing comparable from HTML5 in terms of accessibility, and what's going to happen to all those great Flash games of the past when they won't be able to run anymore because there's no Flash player? There's a lot to consider. Anyway, thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah, I saw an article. Thanks, Karen, for the question. I saw an article saying about, the Flash is going to be discontinued support in about a couple of years from now, and then it'll eventually be gone for HTML5 because Flash is buggy. There's a lot of exploits. They got to constantly update it. Every week you turn your computer and it's like update Flash because it's just not stable in the modern world. But yes, there's a ton. Go back to Newsgrounds and the tons of games that were on Flash. I mean, before that,
it's where indie, iconic indie games like Super Meat Boy got their start. It's where the Behemoth got their start with stuff like Alien Hominid. I mean, real honest to goodness game developers got their starts, and learned their chops in things like Flash. The games. You can right-click and save Flash files, and if you download a Flash player program, I mean,
it'll exist.
You'll exist, and you'll be able to work with them. And I'm sure that there will still be people who dabble in Flash and will continue to use the last version of Flash. I have noticed that there hasn't been anything that's really stepped in yet. When you do try to look around for like HTML5 games, you don't get anything quite the same, and I don't know really anything about modern programming, but I would just assume it's because, like Karen says, it's not accessible. So it does kind of leave this void that was always kind of fun to explore, which was this little world of indie games and things like that. Also, honestly, it's like a huge source of revenue for like porn game makers. So,
really? Like if you want to make a
there's tons of Flash porn games. So I mean, they're gonna have to find a way to adapt.
Strip roulette maybe, or blackjack.
Fuck off.
There's open source alternatives to Dreamweaver, because Dreamweaver is where I remember using Dreamweaver to build a website, but that's where you can use Flash in as well. So yeah, there I think will always be a Flash software that you'll be able to have offline, is what Ian's saying, and you can just download the files. So there'll be preservation, but it looks like it's going to be gone by 2020 from all browsers. So it has to start now, though. Hopefully those big websites like Newsgrounds do it themselves and archive them, and then they can just say, okay, take them all, and then you can play them, offline. That's what you're going to have to probably do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right though. Absolutely, a lot of these games, like a Bobo Deathmatch, the one that came out, the Grave one came out. That's right. What's it? Grave Chase. I should have played at the beginning of the show. Anyway, yeah, these guys get their starts doing little Flash games. That's how they learn, and then that bridged the gap to indie games as we know now on Steam.
Right.
It was like the original Steam, except most of them are free, right? Or just about all of them are free. Check out Grave Chase on Steam. Played it, Comic-Con, really fun game. That's all. So yeah, with that plug aside, thanks a lot for the questions. If there's ones we didn't get to, it might be because they were too wordy or too long. So please compact them up. Spit them at me and Ian, and we'll swallow them nice and easy. Wait, what? So it's patreon.com/CUpodcast. Thanks for the support, guys.
Thank you.